Welcome back to my 31 days of summer barbecue. Now we have tons of barbecue recipes coming out over the next month. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss a trick and you catch every single one. Fired piece of beef, let's get it. Now a steak on a barbie, roasted meat on open fire is an absolute winner, and you've got to make sure you do it. But there's a lot of stuff you can get wrong, so hopefully with the help of this video, you'll be able to barbecue your beef cap, your picante, your rump like an absolute champion. Now, there's a couple of things we need to make sure we've got before we continue to cook. First off, the grill. Make sure your grill's hot. It's going to be direct cooking, but not a searing heat. You want it rolling at about 200 degrees, 180 degrees, and that's enough to really hit that caramelization without drying out and overcooking and burning the outside that stunning rump cap. Next thing, the flavor, the hit, the spice. We're going to make sure this marinade, I call it a marinade, it's kind of a reverse marinade. We cook the beef first with smoke and salt, and then after that, we let these beautiful fresh spices, fragrances infuse into the meat as it rests. So smoky paprika straight into a bowl. After that, we're hitting it with coriander. You can toast your own and blitz it up straight out of a jar, is absolutely fine. Then a hit of cumin powder. Cumin, smoked paprika, coriander are like a holy trinity for me. They're spices that go so well together and they will flavour this beef beautifully. Get a good hit of that straight in. Garlic, take your clove off with the microplane and you just give that a really good grate, infusing all of that flavour. Gonna take our lime, the zest. We're using our Old Faithful, our microplane, our mini grater, just to get that zest off without hitting any of the pith. So we get that fruity, colourful, fragrant bit of the lime zest without the white bit, the nasty bit, the bitter bit. Then we're gonna go with a knife in half and juice that straight into the bowl. Now we've got our juice, we've got our spices. They're starting to hydrate with the acidity and the moisture from the lime. We're gonna hit it with a good amount of oil. This could be olive oil, this could be sunflower oil, this could be rapeseed oil, but you wanna make sure it's not extra virgin, because extra virgin oils have been pressed when cold. So if you apply them to heat, which we're gonna do today, they'll lose their fruitiness, they'll lose their fragrance, they'll lose their character. So a good hit of neutral oil straight in the bowl. Mix that all together, emulsifying with the oil, and becoming this beautiful fragrant spice dressing. Now, the big dog, the beef. You want to take your beef cap onto the board. Make sure it's beautifully marbled, stunningly fresh. A bit of age on the fat is absolutely fine. We're going to take our knife and just score across the fat. This is going to help the spice go in and also the fat render out. Good bit of salt on each side, and we're going to take our barbecue, beautifully hot, set up for direct cooking, and our stunning piece of beef goes straight on top. Now at this stage you can close the lid. We're basically looking to brown, caramelize, render that fat. We want to make sure we're not doing it too hot. Common misconception with grilling meat is you have to do it hoofing hot. Well, if you do that, you won't be in control of what's going on. You'll end up with scorched fat, not beautiful deep golden caramelization. You'll end up with burnt, dry meat. So every 2-3 minutes, just lift her up, make sure there's not too many flames, licking that fat, and we're just slowly grilling it. Teasing the temperature in, caramelizing that meat, and just allowing that smoke, that flavor, that barbecued sort of goodness that you get to really get into the fat and get into the meat. Whilst you're barbecuing, you always want to have one of these. It's a thermometer, a digital thermometer. And what we're looking for on the inside when we take it off of the grill is about 45 degrees Celsius. That's going to allow that meat to rest up to about 52 to 56, medium rare, which is exactly where we want this rump cap. I'm happy with the temperature. We're just going to take this off, rest it to one side, and while it's still hot, it's still got that crispy bubbling fat on the outside. We take our spice dressing and we just nappe that all over the top, giving it a really nice shine, a really nice glaze, and the heat from that beef is warming up those spices and just activating all of those stunning flavors, while the beef, still hot, is sucking in moisture to drink and take on those beautiful spices. The heat from that garlic just being rounded off by the temperature from the outside of the beef, and that beautiful acidity from the lime cutting through all of that fat. Our beef Our rump cap is rested. It's soft, it's stunning, it's come up to 56 degrees, which is a perfect medium rare. I want to pair this with a stunning labneh. Now labneh is a strained yogurt, but when I make it, I like to put tahini, good amount of vinegar, good amount of sugar, salt, pepper, a little bit of lemon juice. It's just a rich dressing, a base to a dish that gives a load of character. On top, we're going dahalka. Dahalka is a spice mix, a nut mix. Roasted sunflower seeds, tons of spices, tons of nuts. All the recipes for these are going to be on our Cooking Academy. That's on our website. And I love food like this, man. It's messy, it's full of flavour, it's full of power. With the back of the spoon, you're just sort of circling that out like you would with pizza sauce on a pizza dough almost. Now you get your beef, and you should see some pink towards the outside where that smoke has just made a beautiful little smoke ring on the outside of the beef. Take your carving knife, and against the grain, you're going to carve these beautiful long slices. If you're doing this for lots of people, get the whole thing sliced and carved on. If you're doing this individually, about 4 or 5 slices will be sufficient. Just make sure you're slicing it super thin. Now at this stage, you just want to lift, place on top of that. Now all this dressing, all this goodness, we're just pouring that all over the top. All the resting juices straight on there. Now a good amount of salt, a hit of black pepper, and then this stunning spiced dahalka, which has got bags of character, bags of flavor. Sesame, little flecks of sunflower, just brings a real nice crunch and spice to the dish. And that's it, our stunning beef cap, barbecued, spiced with cumin, coriander, smoked paprika, the hit of lime zest, the fire from that garlic, beautifully smoked, beautifully cooked, paired with a labneh and a sesame dalka. It's a beautiful fired piece of beef, good enough for your British barbecue. And thank you.